what would be some other things that business owners could look for who, again, aren't technical, who could just go, where is the opportunity here that I could find where software could solve it?
I think another common one that we see are customers who have bespoke systems that were designed 10, even 20 years ago. Your business changes, right? Your business, think about the first year that you're in business, and then think about year 5, think about year 10, think about year 15. Like, how much similarity is there? There's some, to be sure. You're still the same business, but you've learned so much. You've adopted different practices. I mean, think about the difference between technology 10 years ago, 20 years ago. The decisions that were perfectly rational and fit your business and fit your needs then might not be the same now. It might.
Yeah.
It might.
There's much different problems at 100,000 to a million to 10 million, right? Like, those are all very different problems. And the operation's going to look a lot different because you're going to have different hierarchies and people involved.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that FedEx still maintains their COBOL. I'm pretty sure it's COBOL. Their COBOL system. It doesn't make sense financially from a business standpoint to replace it. It does what it needs to do, and they pay lots of people really good money to make sure that that system is maintained.
And for those who don't know, just layman, COBOL is a very, very old system, like language of coding, and the developers who do that, who can actually operate in that language, are few and far between.
Yes.
And a $1 billion company that all of our packages are depend on that software.
Yeah. COBOL programmers are a very, very rare bird. And
how much do they make? Because they're so rare.
Dude, if I had to guess, I'm thinking at least north of 200K. I would be very surprised if it was less than 200K. But it could go north of that easily, I would think. And it's possible that I'm speaking sort of out of ignorance. I've never worked at FedEx, but it's kind of like the industry myth, right? The mythos, the legend of old code, and maybe they are working on replacing it. I don't know, but it's an example. You don't always need to rebuild. Sometimes you just need somebody to come in and maintain or clean up a legacy system. Sometimes legacy systems are perfectly fine. But it's at least worth looking at, right? Asking, does this software fit my needs? Does it serve the needs of the business? And does it do it in a way that's not impeding our growth, either revenue or headcount or speed, delivery, whatever that growth might look like? And if it is, that's where, we can have the conversation of like, okay, does it make more sense to maintain? Does it make more sense to build? And we've had several prospects that kind of brought us that kind of problem. And we laid out the pros and cons. Hey, based on your particular system, based on your business, here's why it would or would not make sense to rebuild from scratch. When you rebuild from scratch, you get to take all those hard-won lessons and you get to build from the ground up on a foundation that's already been battle tested across, a long time, decades. And sometimes you get in there and you're just like, honestly, this isn't bad. We need a little bit, we need some more guardrails here. We need some better logging, some better observability into the system so we know what's happening. Sometimes that's sufficient.